There's $1.1 million that we are asking that we be able to use to fix up the Elks building and renovate and get it up to the point where the majority of that money, and I'll go through the details here in a minute, would be needed for anybody to go into that building. There's probably 10 people that I've seen here that came in today when we were at the building to try and show people what some of that stuff was. I'd love nothing more than for us to all get up and walk over there and go in the building, and you guys could see exactly what it is that we're working with. And I feel like if people saw that, they would understand why that number is the way that it is. It is the most well-known building in this town. When we talk to people outside of this town, and they say, why Middletown, or where are you going in Middletown? We say, you know the Elks building, Elks movie theater, and everybody recognizes that building. There's no HVAC. It was deemed unsafe for human occupancy. There was a roof leak that you can still see the damage that was done. When we were in there this morning, there was still water leaking down from upstairs. We actually had the water shut off. It needs work. That's where we're looking to spend the $1.1 million. Of that $1.1 million, and we have Paul with us from AP Williams, who's been doing this for a long time, and we asked him to come so he could talk further about these numbers, and he could answer questions so people understand that it is the stuff that is needed. Of the $1.1 million numbers, we've talked to a couple people, and we got the same answer over and over and over again. We're somewhere between $200,000 and $250,000 of the $1.1 million is money that is specific for Tattered Flag's use or for retrofitting the building to Tattered Flag. The 1.1 started out at almost $1.6 million. Of that 1.6, we started to chip away and we started to take away things that don't need to be done. Of that, we have $196,000 of work that needs to be done for anybody to be able to get in there that we're going to do ourselves, so we don't have to add any more money onto a loan than what is needed for us to be in a position to be successful. If we talk about $1.1 million, and there's the number that we have that we came up with is $239,510, I believe. And we subtract $196,000. That's the difference between what we're asking for and what is specifically needed to get that property ready to go. Our business is fully funded. That's something that's come up on a regular basis. The one number, I guess, that I didn't talk about there is the $601,000 that we have in our equity, in our assets, and in our investor capital. We have not gone through a bid-out process. That's one of the things that Matt talked about. The idea is not for us to take out more money than we need to get into the property and make it functional and be in a position for it to be a success. So we're going to continue to go through a bid-out process and see how we can take that number and we can get the money down. But we do not want to do that at the expense of not making sure that we have the ability to make Tattered Flag the attraction that it is supposed to be. This is not something that is designed to just be a small town microbrewery. There's a lot of stuff that we're looking to do with the building. What is the risk? We talked with the mayor and some other people who wanted to make sure they had right of first refusal, that wanted to make sure that if anything went wrong, that the borough was in a position to keep control of that building, because we know what the importance of that building is in the town. That's one of the reasons why we want to be here. And the risk, if we go by the numbers, if we take what the cost is that's going into the building and what we're putting into the building that is not being loaned, if we don't count any of the other stuff that we're putting in outside of the 1.1, it's a number that's well below $100,000. We'll call it $100,000 because we want to be incredibly conservative, but that's our risk. We have a building that currently, in my opinion, and talking to some other people that do banking, you could not take this project to a bank and expect them to give you a loan to get that property to a point where they can say this is how much it's going to be. When it's deemed unsafe for human occupancy, as it was, it's something that you're going to have a hard time getting people to want to come in from a banker standpoint and take a part of.